welcome back to the Ishore Sports Podcast. We just finished week 8, and as always, I have my dad here with me.
Hey guys, this is actually a very special episode as we have a super special guest, and we're going to combine this into a podcast for the week, plus getting to know the player. So without further ado,
let's bring him on. So welcome to the podcast. Congrats on your win. So I noticed it was actually closer than I thought. I thought it was going to be like more of like a blowout type. How did you prepare for their did you guys know that they were going to be like running around and doing like that kind of stuff? How did you like prepare about that?
I want to start off by saying, first of all, good job. You're doing a great job here.
Thank you.
Secondly, Pops, keep doing what you're doing, man. Y'all pushing her, and that's good. Secondly, I want to say that youth team is probably one of the best teams in the league. They just don't have the best leadership. They're literally, bar none, the most athletic, fastest. They're strong. Like, they have a strong big man. And with a little bit more direction, they had one person in their team that could lead them and explain to them what to do with calmness, because I saw them arguing a lot. But with calmness, they would be probably the best team in the league, honestly.
yeah, and I know this is your first season. 2 seasons ago, they actually won the championship. They had Ibrahim Jabber. Ibrahim Jabber was on the team, but he was like really the leader on that team. He was teaching them how to play, and he
He's like
played.
basically a coach.
He was a coach, but he played minutes, but it was mainly just he wasn't the main guy trying to score. Like he was pushing them to play the right way.
Yeah. Ibrahim Jabber is the one that plays on. Is it the other two guys?
No, so Ibrahim Jabber is he is not in the league.
Okay.
He's the youth director at ICP, and he played like overseas and stuff. So he's like legit.
Okay.
He played against the Knicks and stuff in like summer league and stuff. So he's legit.
All right, I'm good.
So I saw that it was kind of like you guys couldn't really keep up with like their running around and everything. How did you feel about like everything about that game?
So the game, the way we won, I want to say is basically based on just mental. We don't go in there thinking we're gonna be the toughest, the strongest, the tallest, the fastest. As soon as I saw that team, I was like, this guy's linky, this guy's linky, this guy's linky, this guy's two brothers. I think they look like twins almost. They were linky. They're fast, and I'm like, I look at my team like we don't have that matchup size. At most, I think I would match up with them, but I can't match up with 5 guys that all look the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then their point guard is a good point guard. He's a real good player. He also had a bad game today, but he was really, really good. I don't know his name. I don't know a lot of names. Ayan? Okay, yeah, he's a really good player. But the big man, I don't know if you guys...
Rocky.
Does he ever come? I've never seen him before.
I think he's missed a couple of games. I think last week he overslept, so the league kind of let him have it because they lost a game that they could have won if they needed size, and he wasn't there.
Yeah, he's the difference maker. He fills the lane. He has a body in that lane, and there's nobody that can really go around him. But I was able to move him because I got lower than him. Yeah. So it was just because he was standing up straight, and I was just moving him around. But as far as strength-wise, nobody in the league. As far as that was the guy that I was like, yeah, that guy's strong.
And I think, interestingly enough, Rocky just recently started playing basketball like a few years ago. He's been a soccer player growing up.
How old is he?
I want to say he's like 17 or 18. He literally
How
just
old
grew.
to be in this league?
16. Yeah, so this is his second season playing. So he's probably 17, 18. Like, he's definitely not over 18.
And he's not short either. So if he would have been playing ball 6-7 years ago, man would have went pro or something like that. That's a big guy.
And I imagine how well he can do in 3-4 years from now once he really fully understands the fundamentals of basketball and how to use his body.
Right.
So this is your first season playing. What do you think of the league so far?
It's a little choppy. It's a little sloppy. So I played professionally, and I don't want to put my all out there. Like today, there was a fast break layup that I could have probably dunked it, but I'm not gonna go when I see 200, 300 pounds running at me full speed. So there's ways I just don't want to get hurt. And then there's times where my team, you guys understand how easy this team, playing with this team is. It is the easiest.
You talk about your current team,
yes, right? It is the easiest team I've ever, recreational wise, easiest team I've ever played with. We make a lot of mistakes, don't get me wrong, but I mean the easiest team to just, like if we need a leader at that moment, yo, just do this, do that, do this, do that. And they're just like, I got it. And that's it. We need more rebounds. Oh, I got it. You know, fight for the board. You see, we fight for the boards against each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's times where a lot of people don't see Andy, or they're like, I think I saw and they were like, oh, Andy's like doing really good this season. And I'm like, so what happened last season? How come he wasn't playing like this last season or the season before? And I heard Elle say that it was a lot to do with the team. And I'm like, well, we let him be on our team. I don't tell anybody how to play. Sultan, I tell him he needs to shoot. Monem, shoot. If that's your game, do it. Yeah. You know, and what I'm here for is to fill around those little empty holes that they need. I don't do anything that's beyond my point. But as far as the league goes, I like the league as far as efficiency, as far as stats, as far as, you know, the chat. I'll talk about that in a second. But as far as stats, as far as everything goes, you guys have a lot of efficiency. I will say this, though. Whoever's doing the stats, you're doing a great job. I'm not saying anybody's doing a bad job. However, this is filling up to be a statistical match where everybody's so worried about the stats. Somebody's worried. Do you see that final score? Do you see that? You know what I mean? And I've watched other podcasts, and I've only been able to take maybe 10 minutes. And it's no offense to anybody else's podcast, but I sat here and watched your podcast the full entirety. Whether you were talking about our team, other teams. And the reason why is because you guys know basketball. And again, I'm not trying to throw any shade. Yeah. It's just you guys know basketball. So when I see, how old are you?
12. When
I see a 12-year-old girl knowing basketball, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is good information she's giving. And you're definitely supporting her in that sense. So when I see that, it just blew my mind. So then when I heard the other guys speaking, it was more of I felt like it was like a comedy night. You know what I mean? Like, let's joke. And then if you're doing a podcast, you should be, and I'm sorry I'm getting to a whole lot right now.
It's all good.
If you're doing a podcast, you should be away from being biased. You don't be biased. You know what I mean? You should not be biased in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if you're racist. I don't care what you are. if you're a person that's trying to do a podcast, you just come with, and you're only looking at stats too. So there was, and I just want to point one thing out with the other guys' podcast. I heard them say, like, right in the beginning, they were talking about their team, and they were like, well, such and such, he does the small things. He does things that people don't really see. It doesn't show up on the stat board. But then everybody else's team, you're worried about stats. So it's kind of like you're kind of giving me a double standard, right? So I didn't appreciate that. I was like, well, what do you think most people are for their team? You got Sultan, who is the hype man. Right. He's playing defense, lockdown defense. You got Elle, who's doing everything from just rebounding to hustling to stealing, everything. You got me filling in whatever they need. If I need to rebound, if I need to do whatever, I'm there. You know what I mean? Play defense, whatever. So a team is supposed to win. A player is supposed to look good. So if you want a player to look good, yeah, you have certain teams that have like that one player. And shout out to Drew. Because you probably don't have to ask me, because I'm sure some of these things are on there, like number 1 pick, number 2 pick. I found out that I was number 2. I just found out you guys had podcasts. Yeah. So I sat one day and I listened to, I think I saw 3 of their episodes, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I think I stayed like 5 to 10 minutes, and that was it. I couldn't handle it. So, and I saw yours, and I saw the whole entirety. And then, again, when I see like the stats that they're not even looking anywhere else. They're just like, oh yeah, how much this guy had, da da da. That's not basketball. This is not basketball. Yeah. You got to put the ball in the hoop. You got to pass the ball. You got to play defense. You got to rebound. You got to do all these things, and that's basketball. So.
Yeah, I will say, so like the MB guys, like I know them really well. They're really good guys. I think some of those guys also, like Yassine and Yusuf, they kind of played basketball recently. Like Yassine, I think, just started playing when this league started a few years ago. Mm-hmm. In their defense, I think their podcast is designed more to focus in on how the league how the league is doing in terms of statistics, right? The teams that are doing well, the players that are doing well, so their focus is mainly on that. Where we're bringing it from a different perspective, and that's the reason why it's so important for her to have this podcast, because as the stat keepers, they're seeing everything else. They're keeping stats, but they're seeing everything else that happens in the game that is not showing up on stats, and that's what we want to talk about.
Exactly. Yeah, and I saw today that I saw the stats. My team, we have our own chat, and they put the stats out, and it said that I had 11 points or something like that, 7 rebounds, and 7 steals.
Yeah.
7 steals.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think I had 7 steals because I blocked Ion's shot.
Yeah.
That was a block.
The 3-point shot, right? Where
that wasn't counted.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I don't see it as statistically. I just see it as making an impact while you're on the floor.
Yeah.
So all the stats, to me, again, I think the stat keepers are doing a great job. They're keeping as efficiently as possible. Obviously, in the NBA or in other leagues, you have 10 people
keeping
each particular stats per person. You know what I mean? So it's like one is in charge of rebounds, and everybody that grabs a rebound, they don't look at anything else. No steals. They're just like this. Okay, rebound.
Yeah.
Okay, rebound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same with steals. It's the same with shooting threes. It's the same with free throws. And that's how leagues are. But I get it. We're shorthanded here, so I understand. So the person's doing a great job. But fellas and ladies and gents, this is not what matters. It's that end score, right? It's that being able to control the game. And I talked about this to you before. I said, you asked how do we perform and sometimes we perform like crap, like you saw today. It was a sloppy game. But again, I told you, these guys are fast. These guys are strong. These guys are, athletes. So it's hard to play against athletes in control, but we still managed to get the win. So.
We were sitting on the sideline and the rest of us were watching this game, and, it felt like it was such a blowout. Where I'm thinking, like 20-point lead, you guys are killing it, and then I look over, and every time I looked over, it was like 6 to 8 points, and they're like one shot away from making a one possession game.
Right.
So props to the youth team for just no matter how the game is going, they're battling, they're fighting. So,
are they last place?
I think are they?
Take a look.
No,
look
I think Osman's team is last place because they also lost today. So I think they might be.
Yeah, go back to standings. You can take a look. I think there's a couple of teams tied for 3 and 4, maybe.
So who's second right now?
Right now, Nazareth, which is Wakasa's team, which is I think who you
5
guys
and
play
3.
next week.
Yeah, they're 5 and 3.
And that's who you play next week. So you guys are 6 and 2. They're 5 and 3. I think my team now is 5 and 4, and then everyone else is pretty much.
Actually, Tiberius, Lode, and Deir Yassin are all tied for last.
Yeah, 3. What's the record? 3 and
5.
And Tiberius is a youth team?
Wow. Yeah.
Tiberius is a youth team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you guys going to factor in those standings?
So I think the way it works is the first two teams get a bye, and then the last 4 spots are you have your seeding, and then the tiebreaker is I think points against whatever that ratio is. So like my team, even though we're up there, you guys are playing Nazareth, so we'll get into the predictions later, but being the way you guys have performed all season, like if you guys were to beat them and we were to win our game against Deir Yassin, we still are not getting the second spot because our point differential is horrible.
Okay.
So I think you two are going to be the top 2 teams. You guys will have a first week bye, and then the rest of us have to battle it to see who gets to play who.
Gotcha.
So what are your rankings if you would rank all the teams right now?
I'm not going to sit here and put my team first like everybody else, right? I'm going to say if with a good leader, the youth team would be number 1. We'd be number 2. Number 2, the brothers would definitely be number 3. I think Drew's team is number 4 or 5. That's your team. And I want to say, who else is there?
There's Osman's team and I think your team.
No, there's
There's got to be one more, right?
Oh yeah,
Lode,
Yassin's team.
Who's Lode?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's
Yassin's
the
team,
podcast,
Yassin's team, I would give them like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And between is Deir Yassin. So those 2 would be like the bottom 2. But youth team would be number 1 if they had a good leader, for sure. But standings right now, as the standings go, it's just what the standings are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting, because we talk about this in the chat sometimes, it's people don't agree with the power rankings a lot because they don't reflect the standings. And the standings and power rankings are two totally different things, right? Because the standings are going to show you who played well so far, but you're not taking into account like teams that are missing their players, other things like that. Power rankings really shows you, okay, even though this team might have a better record, this team is actually a much stronger team because of the way that they play, their style, their matchups, things like that.
And that's another question I have for you. And the power rankings, wasn't like the 3 and 5 team like number 1?
I think you earlier on, Loathe was 2-0 to start the season.
Yeah, 3-0 actually.
They're 3-0. No,
2-0.
2-0. Then they lost 4 straight, and then they won, and then they lost this week. But I think the power rankings, I think our two. So coming out of the draft. So let's take a step back.
Okay.
Coming out of the draft, I think they had our team. So like Drew's, my team with Drew, and then your team as like the worst 2 ranked teams. Coming out of the draft.
Yeah, I think they had like you guys at I don't know.
I think they actually put you guys last.
Yeah.
Which to me was like, wait, hold on a second. Like, what am I missing here? Because when I saw, I'd never met you before.
Yeah.
So I actually had the first pick. I took Drew because I didn't know who you were. And for me, it's all about knowing the person. Because I don't care how good of a player a person is. For me, it's their character. Yeah. And I didn't know you, so I'm like, I can't take a chance on someone I don't know. Right. So I took Drew, and
So you had a choice between me and Drew. My question is, you picked Drew because of familiarity, because you knew him as a person. Yeah. However, how did you know about me in general?
So Monam actually told me. Oh. So Monam, because me and Monam, like, I'm really good friends with a lot of the guys in the league. Okay. We actually sat down and did like pre-drafts to see where everyone's gonna go, and he was honest with me. He told me AbdulWahdud is probably the best player in the league. Okay. Right. And I was like, I get it. Like, I really want to pick him, but then I think you also had down that you were gonna miss some games and stuff. Yes. And I was like, for me, it's important to have a team that's like brothers, like everyone that's going to be there, show up for each other, fight for each other. And Drew and I played on a team last year where we lost in the finals by 2 points to the brothers, the Anwar and Wakas, their team. Okay. So I had that. I had, one with what I knew. I still don't regret that pick, as great as I've seen you play, and you're a great player. I think it kind of worked out for both of our teams, the way the players fell. And for me to see your team get drafted and folks be like, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys don't know how to draft. And I'm just like, what do you mean? And a lot of the guys were like, well, neither of your teams have shooters. And I'm like, what do you need shooters for if you can just play smart and just get layups and use your body and size? Who cares about shooters?
So that's crazy. That's good. That's awesome.
Who are your top 3 MVP candidates?
Andy, and Andy. I'm going with Andy. Today they called me MVP, but I said nah. I said it's a team game. Again, I could care less about that. If I wanna, hear me out. If I wanna drop 40, I'll drop 40. Yeah. Every game. And I'm gonna tell you that now, and that's with confidence. That's me knowing me, not knowing the league. That's against anybody's capability. I can drop 40 at any point in time I want to. That means I'm gonna take more shots. That means I'm gonna jack the ball up a lot. I'm gonna take it down fast breaks a lot. I'm gonna grab the rebound. I'm not passing to anybody. I'm just going. That's not the type of ball I play. Yeah. If I see somebody open, I'm gonna pass it. That's just me. And playing in every league and multiple leagues, that's how I've always been playing. If I see a hot hand, guess what? He's getting the ball. I'm gonna find a way to get him the ball. And that's how you play basketball. So top 3 MVP, I feel like team-wise, being able to gel very well is definitely Andy. If you're going straight off statistics, you got to give the MVP to the winning teams. Yeah. Right? Number 1 teams in the conference, whatever. Even if because we're a small conference, but you got to give the winning team the MVP, whoever it is. It doesn't matter. But I feel like all of our guys are MVPs. Even like Sultan right now. Like, those little things that the other podcasts talk, the little things, that's our guy. We need him to do certain things for us that we can't do, that I don't feel like doing. Right. I don't feel like chasing someone down. I can, but I don't want to.
You don't feel like doing the full court press like he does.
Yeah, exactly.
He's all game long, and how is he not tired?
And that's the thing. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. You got L, who's just also, I guess, a lesser version of Sultan defensively, and apparently he was supposed to be like the number 1 defensive person.
One of the things I always used to say was, the one person I don't want defending me in this league is L because of how he plays defense.
He hassles.
And now I'm like, man, like now you guys have
yeah, and I don't know how I'm leading the league in steals. I don't know how that's happening. I play great defense. That's what I was known for in college, pro, everything. But the defense that I'm playing here is just more so. I'm lazy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm a lazy player on the court. I don't feel like playing, and a real basketball player knows there's levels. You got your 10%, you got your 20%, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Then you got 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, and then there's people that's going to play serious. I don't think at any point in this time, I think actually the time I came late, we were down like 25.
Yeah. You got there like right around halftime, I think.
Yeah, exactly at halftime. Yeah. It was like 2 minutes left. They were like, somebody yelled at me, yo, they need you. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm coming, like, you know, at obligations. And we were down 25, and I think it was Yassine's team.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's whenever it was like a 1 point right at the end.
Yeah, so.
You guys actually took that lead late at the game.
Right. So I think if I was there the whole time, would that have happened? Would that be another loss on our you know, track?
I mentioned this to L. You guys technically could be undefeated right now because that was the one loss to that team, and your other loss was when you and Andy Saad were not there against us, and we won by like 3 points, 4 points.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and we want to talk about that too, man. I heard there was pictures being taken. I heard there was a lot of talk in that chat, and I wasn't in the chat, and we can get to that question next if you want. But I heard there was a lot of talk in that chat that Drew was like, oh, bring all your draft picks or something like that next time, and
I don't remember him saying that, but we did have an incident. Mm-hmm. So we started off the game hot. We were up 25-8.
Yeah.
And I think there was a timeout called, and I looked over and I did see Drew go over, take a picture. Jahid, I think it was his phone of the scoreboard. And, you know, like me being old school and like being the older, more mature guy in the league where like I understand how sports work, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to give fuel to anybody.
You don't.
And we felt like you guys turned around because by halftime, I think the score was like 25-24.
That's crazy. Right? That's crazy.
Right, yeah.
And then when I heard that from the guys, they were like, yo, we lost. Like, good game. And then I think we only had 6 guys.
You guys only had 5. We didn't even have 6.
So there you go. So one group is playing the whole game trying to beat you guys when you guys have 5 as well, right?
I think we had 6. We had a couple of subs.
6, okay.
Yeah.
So it was tough on my guys, right? Me, Andy, you said who else?
Saad got married like a week before.
Okay, yeah. Congratulations to Saad. Yeah. That was a tough loss to hear about, and then I was like, all right, so next game, who do we play? And they said, you guys again. I was like, how do we play them the second time? And then I wasn't supposed to come. I was not supposed to come. I don't know.
Told me you weren't going to be there, so we prepared differently.
So I don't know what happened there, but I was like, I'm going to come and see what happens. And I saw a lot of different vibes. Before I walked in the gym, I seen Devo, I seen Drew, I seen a lot of people stretching and like jumping up in the air. And as soon as I walked in the gym, I seen a less version of that. And I was like, wait, why, the change? So then what I wanted to do, I'm going to be real with you, and I appreciate you as a brother in Islam, but I wanted to beat the brakes off you guys. I wanted to scare you guys in the sense of just like pure dominance, and not even me scoring. Not me scoring, not me doing anything. Like I think I took 7 shots, if that. I don't even think I took 7 shots. But I wanted to make sure that my team flourished in a way where Andy's have a double-double. And you guys have to understand the stats. That's why I say stats are like not bad, but it's not a thing you count on, because in the air, I'm in the air. Here's Andy. I'm like right here. I'm looking down at Andy. He looks at me while the ball's in the air. Let me get that.
Yeah.
He's telling me, let him get the rebound.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I just let it go to your hands. Yeah. It's in control. I got you. You got it.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 times that happens a game.
Yeah.
So we like I said, we battle each other on the rebounds, but that game we took it personal.
Sounds like Andy's padding his stats.
No. He's definitely not padding his stats.
No, just kidding.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you how stats don't really matter in that sense. Because again, if I really wanted to grab every board, I'd position myself to try to grab every board, and I'd have crazy stats. But I don't care about that because it's not about the stats. It's about the win. And if we're winning with this team currently constructed, I'm happy. You know what I mean?
I'm sad you brought that game up because that was our worst performance last week, and we don't know what hit us, and it was just everything went bad for us. You guys showed us, and I knew all along, like, you guys are one of the teams to beat, right? And we worked on some things this week. We were able to turn around this week against that low team. But I think everyone knows that they're gonna have to bring their A game to have a chance against you guys.
Yeah.
So I know this is like your first season, right? Not a lot of people like know you.
Yeah.
So is it okay if we get into like some personal questions?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So when did you start playing basketball?
5. Yeah, I was playing against bigger guys than your dad. I was the shorty, and I was like maybe this tall. I was a very short kid. I was this tall. Everybody was high, and that's where my passing came from. It was just dribble, get through the holes, find somebody. I couldn't really lay the ball up because they would just block my shot. I was basically what you see equivalent to Lasso. What you seen today with Lasso trying to get in between people, that was me as a kid against adults. Yeah. So
who's shorter in the league, Isha? L or Lil Yasin?
How am I supposed to know that?
I'm wondering. I think that's
it might be.
I don't know.
Might be Yasin. I think it might be Yasin.
We play them next week. I'll try to stand next to them and see how far he comes.
It might be. I think it might be Yasin, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I started at 6 years old. I had a basketball in my hand. My mom didn't believe in it, and I was sent to Haiti. I don't know if you guys know where Haiti is. Yeah. I'm Haitian. And I was sent to Haiti at like, I think I was 8, and I didn't have basketball there. There was a basketball rim, like kind of like that, but a regular size rim, no backboard. So you had to make it, and we were on top of a cliff.
Oh, so if you
miss, you gotta go run down the cliff and get the ball. Some people would try to stand down a cliff, and I'm talking about it's a dangerous cliff. It's not like where we can just run down. No, you have to climb rocks and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a private school like that, and we didn't have. If you got off that court, all it was rocks. So I was able to dribble on rocks. Like the ball was going everywhere, but I had to catch it and make sure I didn't lose the ball. So it was like, that's how I started playing basketball. Yeah.
Wow, I heard some of the guys on the other team were saying your team doesn't have any handles, and now hearing that story, it's just blows my mind.
If I wanted to dribble, I could dribble, but there's some things I could do. I'm not doing it right now. I'm just chilling, man. Like it's not that serious. Yeah.
How did you hear about the league?
Wasa,
yeah.
He told me about it, and I wasn't gonna do it. I had 3 other guys that are Muslim that I wanted to bring into the league. They're like 19, 20, and 21 young guys that I wanted to keep them occupied and be in Islam. Can we talk about that though, as far as the chat? So, because these are the guys I wanted to bring in, and your question about the chat, please, if you have one.
Yeah.
So how come you're not in the chat?
Were you at some point in the chat?
Yeah.
You were, right?
Yeah, I left it. Does it show you I left?
So I think the way it's set up now is I didn't notice. I scrolled up to look because somebody mentioned that we were talking about something and you left and I didn't see it. But I think it depends on how the admins have it set up. Sometimes only the admin can see who left. Because I've left a chat before where no one else saw it except for the admins.
Okay.
So I never saw when you left the chat.
Okay. So, one, my phone kept blowing up, and then I didn't really read much of it, and then I started seeing people pick on this.
Jahid?
No, what's this other guy's name? They keep saying free him.
Jahid J Smoothie.
Jahid. That's his name. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So J Smoothie, and I'm like, why are y'all picking on him? Like, what's up? Like, this is we're Muslims. Like, why are we doing this to this person? And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. And then started seeing some other things, but then it's like, it's just consistent of the negativity. And I'm like, there was nothing really positive to come out of this chat besides, the free Gaza stuff. That's the only thing I've seen that was like, okay, eye-opening. And I'm like, why are we talking like this to people? So I just left. And I told my teammates, I said, these guys are the same guys talking crazy that'll smile in your face during the game. oh, Assalamu alaikum. And I'm like, wasn't you the guy that just said this and this and then when I saw the podcast, and I think I saw the podcast after we won against you guys. Yeah. I saw your podcast, I saw all their podcasts. And it didn't infuriate me, it just made me look like, oh wow. So today, or it was today, the Bball one, what's his name? His podcast?
Oh, Yasin.
Is that their brothers?
Yasin, they're brothers. Okay. So Yasin, Yusuf.
Okay.
Yusuf, he's the older brother, and Yasin, the younger brother.
Okay. Yeah. So Yusuf came and asked me, and again, last week, he was smiling, everything on my face, and then I'm like, but you say these weird comments, these little sly comments. I don't appreciate that. And I understand, you're taking, you're jabbing at me, but I don't know you. I don't know anybody, right? So I'm coming in this league as a brother in Islam, and that's where it should be. However, if you're going to welcome me into the league, welcome me the right way. Don't welcome me by talking trash about this guy. Don't try, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know you guys, so maybe you guys grew up together, and I don't know that. Yeah. But I can't see that. I can't tell if that's the case. But I feel like some people actually feel bad when they get talked about, and it's like, so that's the one main reason why I left, is because it was too much talking in there.
I will say with those guys, the majority of us have been playing together for a long time and been in this community where we know each other. Yeah. And sometimes it is like with the younger guys, it's like they sometimes don't know the limit, but sometimes it's just to kind of pick on each other, but it's not really meant to be that serious. Yeah. But we all have to understand what the limits are, right? Yeah. Me personally, I make fun of a lot of guys in that chat, but it's all out of trying to make people feel like even the person I'm gonna say something about, they're gonna read my comment and they're gonna smile because it's funny.
But you're the OG. It's different between a person that's older and then you're more mature and then the people that are they might take it personally, right? So again, I didn't know anyone in the chat besides I think
Wasay probably. He's not in the chat anymore either.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So see, Wasay, Monem, and that was it. And I didn't know much people. I only learned Lasso's name because we had a group chat. Yeah. So I didn't really take the time and that's my fault. I should have took time to know who everybody was, but it was just so much back and forth, and I was like, all right, I gotta back off this.
I think my experience has been once you get to know each person, and that's one of the things we're trying to do in the podcast, where a lot of the younger guys, especially, they don't take the time out to really get to know each other as brothers. Yeah. We have other groups at the mosque and stuff where it's older guys that get together and have a group where we're building brotherhood there as well.
That's the group
trying to do the same thing
here.
Yeah, so we're trying to do the same thing here, and I think once you get to know some of these guys, and you get to talk to them, I think you'll see that they're good guys, right? But like you said, when you don't know someone, if I don't know someone, I never said anything about you because I don't know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, you don't know me, and I don't know how you're gonna take it.
Yeah, right.
So I don't.
But see, you have that line in your head. You're like, I have a line where I won't cross. But then these guys, they're just like, again with the basketball stats and all that. Oh, I seen. Oh, he didn't perform too well. Oh, what is this? Oh, do you think he's number? I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
I think part of that was really to just kind of have fun because. I think Yusuf at one point said that Monem should have been picked ahead of you in the draft, right?
No, and that's fine. That's fine. And I think that about everybody on my team. I wish I would have got picked last in that sense, because then you don't expect nothing from me. But Monem being picked before me is a good call. I mean, Monem's scoring, right? But you got to understand who is giving Monem the ball. Yeah. Who is actually getting Monem those shots. Yeah. Who is the defense focusing on and leaving Monem open? You know what I mean? Even some shots that he's hitting with people in his face is because of confidence. Yeah. We gave him, I think, 4 or 5 shots, and we just kept passing him the ball because he was in a funk. Yeah. He made one. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he came down with confidence, and he had that little swag, little Monem swag, and then he
does a little thing. He pulls his hair.
Yeah, and then he pulled up from almost half, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. But he missed, but you know what I mean? I was like, that's beautiful. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So that's what you want your guys to play with, is that confidence. But once you feel like you get the ball, and then everybody's like, hey, stop, give me the ball, Yeah. That's not confidence. Yeah. I'll let my teammates make a mistake, and I'll just tell them, listen. So that pass, I'm right here, right in front of you. I'm giving you my hand. Just throw it to my hand sometimes to make it simple for you. Yeah. You don't have to force a pass down through the needle. You know what I mean? And I had a lot of turnovers today, and I was just like, oof. So yeah.
So there's some rumors that you played overseas, and like a couple of people were saying that you did, but then some people were saying they asked you and they said you didn't. So
so you gotta blame Wasa for that.
Yeah,
he used to blame for that because I remember before I joined, he said once you join the league, and we're trying to just have Muslims here and stuff like that. I think like the league was bombarded with a lot of non-Muslims last year, and I said yeah, I'll join. I was like, he's like, but the only problem I'm gonna have is what he said. He said the only problem I'm gonna have is if they find out you played pro, they're gonna say, oh well, it's not fair because he played pro, and then he's like, well, these guys gotta suck it up, you know. So
can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is funny you brought that up, right? Because we had a guy in Ibrahim Jabber who played pro in Europe and stuff, right? Very good player, way better than any other player in the league, not even close. When he played, I thought we should have him in the league because it's still one person.
Yeah.
If you know how to stop a team, you can stop a team. It was a youth team. He got them to play at a high level where they won, right? Then last season he didn't play, but we had another guy, Zay, another local college basketball player. I think he played for Lehigh. He played college level. Very, very good player. He had, I think he was averaging like 30-something points. Like but it was a volume of shots, right?
Yeah.
He was also way above everyone else's level here. Yeah. But my team, like with me, Drew, Devo, like all these guys, we played them in the playoffs and we beat them because we figured out how to game plan to stop him and make someone else on the team, and he didn't trust his teammates. Exactly. Ibrahim Jabber trusted his teammates, and you guys are doing that where it's like we can't just focus on you. Yeah. Everyone else is a threat also.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. But the funny thing about this was, I think he's the only guy who keeps complaining in the chat about why is Ibrahim Jabber in the league? He's too good. Like, just keep kicking him out. And I'm just like, wow. Like, that was funny to me because I'm just like, who cares? Like, this is, I know people want to win, but like, you should want to play with people that are better. Yeah. We can learn from them.
Yeah, definitely.
So sorry, I didn't mean
to
cut you off.
I agree. I agree with that. Definitely playing against competition would be better. And another thing, like, again, I think most actual hoopers know that there's levels, and I don't think I've been past 70%, you know what I mean, as far as level-wise of trying to really win the game. And I think the team that we were down 25 was when I really turned it up a little bit. I was like, all right, 75, 80, let me just try to, you know. Yeah. But, yeah, there's no real, no offense to anyone in the league, just there's no real, if there's 2 players that are good in the team, 3 players that are good in the team, I don't see the rest of the team being good because those 2 or 3 players need to be
dominating or getting the ball
or definitely facilitating and being smart with your team. Yeah. And I don't see that.
So where did you play professionally?
Played in Qatar.
Yeah.
I played in Dubai. I played for an Egyptian team. I played in Mexico. Played in Italy.
Oh, wow.
And Canada.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So we always see your daughter and like we saw your son. Do you have any other kids?
I have 4 kids.
Oh, wow.
I have 4 kids. Yeah, I have 4 kids. I have a 1-year-old, that 3-year-old Abdullah, only 1 boy, 3 girls. Yeah, and they're all competitive as well. The one that's here, she could bust out like 10 backflips for you right now.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a gymnast. She's in a gymnastics. I think she has an event tomorrow, and where she practices 3 times a week for 4 hours each day, you know, so
it's crazy.
Yeah, and the money is expensive to put her through that stuff. So yeah, but I'm not gonna hold my kids back on anything they love to do. That's why I'm trying to figure out what he wants to do right now. He's 3, so I don't know. He's saying he wants to play basketball, but I don't know about that. I just want him. He's scared of the ball, so until he becomes not afraid, we'll see what happens. But I have 4 kids. Yeah.
I do want to say with your daughter, what's her name?
Faja.
She was here at the game today, and she was holding a sign up. I don't know if a lot of people saw it, but like we looked at it, and I was like, "Oh man, I want to take a picture and put this on the thing." But she was holding a sign up, piece of paper that said, "Can we go to Wawa after the game?" With a yes or no box, like a sign for you, you know.
Oh, I didn't see it. I was so focused on the game, and I was like, when you said it, I was like, what? What happened? And she was like, oh, yeah, I wrote a sign. She was like, when other people looked, I tried to hide it, though. But I was like, of course. So we went to Wawa's after. We went to the car wash, and then we went to Wawa's.
Nice.
Yeah.
So rapid fire? You want to explain
let's
how
do
the...
it. Yeah, so the rapid fire segment, it's similar to what you saw with like Elle.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna ask a bunch of questions, and it's like try to answer as quickly as you can without like thinking too much into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Favorite teammate?
Oh man, dang. I don't know. All of them. I don't have a favorite.
Favorite NBA team?
I'm a player person, so I'm a LeBron fan. So I heard you guys say LeBron and Jordan, and when somebody said Jordan, some podcast, I don't know what it was, but somebody said Jordan. A lot of people said Jordan.
Yeah.
But I'm a LeBron fan. Yeah, I used to be a Jordan fan, but so Lakers, I guess. You can say.
Favorite person to talk trash to?
Nobody. Nobody. I don't talk trash like that.
Best player in the league?
Skill wise?
Yeah.
You can say yourself.
Nah, it comes off cocky, but I'm gonna give it to my teammate. I'm gonna say, surprisingly enough, L. He's just very undersized.
Yeah.
But skill wise, I think L.
Skill and IQ, right? I think both of them is up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Toughest team in playoffs? Like that's gonna come in
Youth.
playoffs.
Youth team.
Who's a better defender, El or Sultan?
Oof. Right now, Sultan.
Better shooter, Ethan or Dawood?
I'm gonna say Dawood, because I only seen Dawood shoot. But yeah, I don't know who Ethan is.
And most importantly, Hershey's or Isha Works?
Isha Works. What? What? Come on, man. I'm here for you guys. I was very inspiring, and my daughters saw it too. They was like, "Oh, I want to do a podcast too." Like, you gotta know what you want to talk about. You can't just do it. But yeah.
So you told us that you've never actually tried the
No,
chocolate?
no,
So
never.
I have a few bars that you can
wow.
try. I think it's like
These are
white
big,
chocolate.
man. White chocolate.
Oh, and I think
And
there's
then
like 2
milk
white
chocolate.
chocolate and 2 milk chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to try it now?
It's up to you.
I'll
to
try it
you.
now. I'll try it now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a real rating.
Okay.
You're not gonna get it easy here. All right. I'm not. They're gonna love this. Oh, okay. So the package is nice, and you got the little square. So how do you make this?
Like how do I get the shape or the
Well, all of it. Like you got the little mark.
the shape? I just get molds and just put it in the molds, but the actual thing is you can't know. It's a secret.
Okay. This is all right. This is all right. And is it made with anything special as far as like? I know you don't want to tell me a secret, but is it healthy?
Yeah.
Or is it just sugar and you know?
Yeah, calories. It says gazillion. So.
All right. I'm gonna have to go with the milk chocolate. Yeah, that's fine.
Nice.
That's good. That's good. I like it. White chocolate's good too. It's like this is more sweet, but this one, yeah, my wife would.
I like milk chocolate because I'm not really a fan of white chocolate, but
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how many flavors are you up to now?
a lot.
Oh jeez.
She's got like a ton of flavors now. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
This is good.
I think it's almost.
Is it a lot of sugar?
Uh,
You don't have to tell me the ingredients, but is there a lot of sugar?
think-
Probably.
yeah.
All right, so I would say for the white chocolate, maybe 1 less scoop,
Okay.
and it'll be great. Because you got a lot of old people that eat your chocolate. So you can actually that we don't like to have too much sweet things, but the kids would love this for sure.
I think she does the extra sugar because I'm old and slow, so that gets me running a little faster.
All right, yeah, Isha Works, man. Y'all doing your thing, and continue this. This is again very inspiring, and one of the main reasons why I came here was to show my daughter, like, yo, she's 12, my daughter's 9, and that you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Keep going, okay. And I see your parents are not the type of parents that hold you back from anything, so keep doing that. Y'all keep being great as well.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Really appreciate having you on the podcast.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions or?
Oh, you want to do predictions for next week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just predictions.
See, I don't.
Okay, I'll take the ones that I opened. I don't want to take.
No,
too
take
much
them all.
in.
They're
No,
all for
take
you.
all
These
of
are all
them
for
for
you.
you, all of
These are
them.
all for you.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you, Shizako.
The first game is Yasin's team versus Ayan's team.
The youth team, yeah.
Yeah.
Youth. If they're also there, youth is winning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think I have the same thing.
Yeah. I was talking to the. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't.
I think with Yasin's team, the only thing that you need to do really is cover outside of 3-point area. Because I don't think there are many players that's going beyond there and going in for layups. So I think your main thing that you need to do for that team is just cover the outside.
Yeah, I think I was talking to the youth team today. So to me, like Lode and Tiberius are very similar in the way that they shoot. Right, they have great 3-point shooters. Right, the big difference that I see is that the guys on the youth team are much bigger in length. Right, so they're gonna be able to defend and rebound and box out and stuff much better because our struggles this year have been against bigger teams that we can't rebound. We out rebounded them today, right? And we're still missing one of our best rebounders in AR, right? So I think the youth team is gonna, I mean, as long as they play smart, right, they're gonna be able to beat Low.
All right, so I wanted to ask you about AR. I've heard you guys mention his name. That's Rahman. Who is he? I need to see. I got a picture of face.
Do you know he's usually there with the camera taking pictures? Because I think earlier he hurt his leg, so he's like saving for the playoffs. Yeah. But he's usually there like taking pictures.
We can pull him up too. But
if you got a picture, yeah.
So I will tell you, I've known Rahman since like early 2000s. So in Jersey, when the Muslim Basketball League first started, we played. I don't know. This was like early 2000s, right? Okay. And he was, I think me and him were on a team one season together. He is probably the most energetic person, mashallah, in the league.
I think I played against him before.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had a couple of like injuries and stuff, so he's been kind of out for like the last 3-4 games for us. Okay. But I mean, his typical stat line is gonna be like 2 points, 10 rebounds, 5 steals. You know, it's just like he's like what you talk about, like the guy that does everything. And for me, I actually in the draft traded up to get him. Oh wow! So what I did was I traded my second round pick. So it's a snake draft. So I had the first pick in the first round, last pick in the second round. I traded that second round pick plus my 4th round pick, right? For Yasin's last pick of the first round and his 7th pick, last pick overall in the draft. Oh wow! So I dropped like from the 4th to the 7th just to take him because I know what type of a player he is, and I really wanted him on my team. Okay. And do you have any regrets for that? I don't. I just wish he wasn't hurt, but I think even with him being hurt right now, the way we played today, I think it forced us because I think what happens a lot of times, right? And I think that the Yasin's team is kind of struggling with this. Is when you have success early in the year, you kind of like feel like what worked in that game is going to always work, right? So for us, you know, we started off with a big win against Wakas and Anwar, the two brothers. I think we beat them by double digits. So for us, it was like, okay, with this lineup, we could beat anybody. Gotcha. But then, like, as things change and, like, you know, you're playing different teams, the matchups are different, like, the way you need to play is a little bit different. Like, you're not able to adjust because it was like, well, this was game 1, let's go back to that, right? And with him being out, it's forced us, all of us on our team, to play a little bit differently and figure out, like, what do we each need to improve on to make this a better team. And when he comes back, that our team, I feel like, is going to be even better because everyone else was able to step up and do what they needed to do. That's what you need. That's what you need. You need a little beat down to get I know, man. Trust me, that beat down I think was something that we deserved, first of all. It was the picture. That's all it was for me. It was just the blatant taking a picture of the scoreboard and then we was like, yo, they don't score. They don't score past 10. And that was our goal. And it was at 49-9 at one point. And I was like, yep, that's what they deserve. Yep. I know you didn't care as much, but I know the rest of them did. And I knew it made them humble a little bit more. Because I've heard, because I'm not in chat, the chat has calmed down a little bit. So like our team, I'm the only person on the team that like is always constantly talking in chat. I'm always like, I'm going after every single person because I try to make it fun. I want everyone to be active. I want everyone to feel like, you know what, I don't know you, like I may not know you personally that well, but you can still have fun. I would still want to talk, interact. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, yeah. And y'all made me hate Drew for a little bit, too. I was like, yo, what did he say? I was like, there's no way Drew's talking like that.
I like Drew's a good guy. Like,
Drew,
I don't see Drew talking. Yeah. He's usually the guy that's bringing his team up. He's always the guy that's like positively talking.
He's one of my favorite
so
players.
So when he started saying those little things, it's like, yo, yeah.
I think it's mainly like him and L. They go at each other. Oh. So L is always saying stuff, and then Drew always has to kind of get back, and then L is the guy who instigates. He instigates.
Okay, L. All right, I'm gonna have a talk with you, L. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's your team versus Usman's team.
So I'm coming this Saturday so we can win, and it's not just me.
I think that's you're talking about. Yeah, so my team. My team versus Usman's team. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I gotta give it to my team.
Usman, who's that?
Usman, that's Usman Wasey. That team with Lil Yassin.
Ooh, that's a good.
So that's a good team, right? They have South Korea and stuff, and they were our second game of the season, and they beat us like 71-49 or something like that. Okay. We were missing AR, we were missing Drew. That was like a 5-point game at halftime, and it stayed kind of close, and then we only had 5 people, and our fifth fouled out early in the second half. Okay. So then the most of the second half we played 5-on-4, and that's where they really blew the game out. I've talked to my team about this. Like I don't forget games like that, right? Yeah. So kind of like how you guys felt after our win. Yeah. I really want us to come out strong and improve on what we did today, and really bring it to them next week. So I'm gonna have to pick my team.
That's good. You go ahead.
So trying to look at how it would match up. You can go ahead a while. I'm just trying to think about the matchup wise.
So they have Wasey, Usman, Saad, Yassin. I don't know if Adil's gonna be there. He's been hurt. He's like one of the other big bodies. Against everyone you saw today from my team.
How good are you guys at 10 a.m. games? Is that
all of our games after week 2 have been 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be your team, because the way that you guys played today really, really impressed me. Based off not having AR, this performance is probably like your best all season long. So I think that you guys will be able to win. I'm trying to look who is like their big guy on their team.
Usman. And he hasn't played. Unfortunately, he hasn't played that well this year. I've played with him a few times. He's a guy that can get double-doubles every game. But I feel like the way that their offense kind of moves, and the way that the ball has to be in certain folks' hand, they're not looking to set him up down low. He's not getting the ball where he needs it. So he's struggling because of that.
You might have just gave him the key to win.
I've been telling them all season. I've been telling them all season what they need to do to win.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna definitely have to go with your team. Wasey is my guy, but if he's not gonna feed the big man down low, then I think they'll lose. But they have a good point guard though.
Yeah, they do.
That kid's.
He's
nice.
been on and off. He's a potential MVP when he's on his game.
Yeah, that kid's nice. Yeah. He's if he can make a difference making between getting the ball to the right people. I don't mind with me. I think I played with him rec wise, and we've I just throw it to him and just run back, because I know he's either gonna make it and he'll shoot from half. But I don't know if this season's reflecting that. Is it?
His shooting percentage, I think, is kind of down compared to last year.
Okay.
But I think what that team struggles with is they've had leads and they've given up leads. Like last week against Yassin, same against Lode, they had a 19-point lead with 10 minutes to go, and they ended up losing that game.
Okay.
Right? So they struggle with, again, it kind of comes back to it's not about the stats. It's about getting the win, and they were chucking threes again when they had the lead, which to me didn't make any sense.
So I'm gonna go with your team. Just off pure intuition, I think it's your team that's gonna win that.
So the third game is your team versus Anwar's team. Yeah. I think that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, we're gonna be missing our MVP, but I'm gonna try to step up for him. So.
Who's that, Andy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, this is what I like about you coming on here, right? When Monim comes on, he doesn't want to give anything away. When we asked him about I think your game or our game,
I asked him.
He's just I can't tell you who's gonna be there, who's not gonna be there.
No, because honestly, that's our chat. That's our chat. We're always like that, because I have obligations on Saturdays. I mean, and I can't just give it all. Now, if it's playoffs, okay, I'll be there. And I'll just tell them we'll reschedule. But that's usually our team. Most people don't know when they're gonna show up. And Sad didn't come today, And we missed him for the exact reason that we have him is that energy. He's the energy guy too. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with my team. Humbly, I'm gonna go with my team.
Think about that.
Are they full force?
I think Anwar is still out. He might play.
Just to get him back into like.
My honest opinion is I think they already have the second seed locked up.
Okay.
So he should take this week off to rest, and then they'll have a bye. So he'll get 2 more weeks to really fully rest his ankle for the playoffs. That would be my advice to him.
So if we lose, then we'll be tied, no?
You guys will be tied, but I think you guys have the point differential. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important. Me personally, I think it's important getting a win going into the playoffs either way. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, you want to end the season on a high note. And
2 weeks off is not bad. So that's fine. I'll definitely be there. So I'm going with my team. I don't try to lose when I come in that court. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. So, I think that your team will win. Because I've been saying from the beginning of the season, I think you guys have the best team. I think you guys just need to contain Wakas.
Okay.
And if Anwar plays, then, but I don't think he's gonna play. But I think that's like your main thing, because he had a lot of points today. I think he had like
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I'm gonna go with your team, just like the way that it's like matched up. That I think that your team will be able to win.
Okay.
And I have to agree with that. I think with Anwar not there, I think the first time you guys played, you guys they had Anwar and you guys still beat them. And I think that was the game where El said Wakasa's not scoring more than 10 points, and you guys held them to like 10 points or less than 10 points. I think there's some history there because they played on the team together last. So like the team we lost in the finals was the 2 brothers, El, Wasay, his brother, James was also on that team. So it was a very strong team, right? And I think El just steps up his game when he's playing those guys. And with Anwar not there or potentially there but not playing 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be tough. I think they've been the second best team in the league, and I think fully healthy. I think they're the only team that physically size-wise can match up to you guys.
Okay.
But I think this week I have to give it to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
So is there anything else that you'd like to add on?
No. Watch this podcast. Oh, you know Cat Williams?
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah.
This is a Cat Williams. Right? This is a Cat Williams. Drop a like.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much to AbdulWahdud for coming out here and doing the podcast with us. I had my dad mic'd up for his game, so look for the highlights of that this week. Also, episode 3 of the Getting to Know the Player series will be coming out soon. It's your work, signing off.